Hello, this is Sophia, and as you can see, I'm right now wearing my cleaning clothes, and that's because I'm taking a break from cleaning in order to shoot this video. So I'm doing it in my cleaning clothes because that's the only way I could do it at all. Bob, you asked what is our idea of a dream date, and to tell the truth, I really haven't got experience from which to answer that question. I've spent so much of my life uh, the, uh, pretending to be someone I'm not, that the very small amount, minuscule amount of dating experience I have from then is nothing that would help me enlighten me as to what a dream date would be, because I was on those dates pretending to be someone I'm not, i.e. the guy. Um, as for Since I stopped pretending to be a guy and started living as who I really am, I've only been on one date since then, and it was such a disaster that it also doesn't get me anywhere close to having an idea about what a dream date would be like. As a matter of fact, it was so horrible that if I was to answer what a dream date is like, I'd basically take that date and like switch it upside down. The opposite of everything that happened on that date would happen on my dream date. Megan, you asked what is the dumbest thing that we have ever heard said or asked about the gay community. I'm assuming that you might mean the LGBT community, but honestly, I'll get to your question later because of the way it ties into my question. I'll answer it more toward the end of the video. Cerebral, you asked if you could stay in Wonderland with our loved ones or stay in the real world. Which would we pick? Okay. Wonderland is so much characterizes where I'm from. I mean, my life. I mean, in my life, nothing has been what it seems for so many years that I'd almost say that I am from Wonderland. Um, Mark, you asked our opinion about workplace homophobia, and my answer is that I disapprove of homophobia, as well as transphobia, as well as black person phobia, as well as Jewish person phobia, as well as any other kind of prejudice that gets euphemized as a phobia. I disapprove of them in whatever places and whatever forms they should rear their ugly and despicable heads. That said, I realize that there also exists harmless humor, and as long as that humor really is harmless, that means it is both meant in good spirit, it is taken in good spirit, and desisted if it isn't taken in good spirit, and gracefully so desisted, and doesn't go overboard, doesn't in any other ways go bad. As long as all of those, I do not believe that one should confuse that with real homophobia. As for my question is, what would everyone here like to tell me about their spiritual paths? Um, I'd like to I'd like to ask that question simply because since my spirituality has made such a dramatic shift lately, it just made me curious about where everyone else stands on that issue. For the last 7 years, I've been trying to be a Christian, but recently I realized that just was not working. I was shoving square pegs into round holes just in order. I was shoving square pegs into round holes just to make the whole Christian thing work. And I decided enough with it. to part of the whole thing about going on a limb being myself. Even no matter how far on a limb it takes me, and I'm now realize that my path is somewhere on the pagan spectrum, though I don't yet know exactly where in the pagan spectrum my path lies, but I'm sure it's in that spectrum. And I'd just like to know where everyone else stands. But believe it or not, my reason for realizing that Christianity was not right for me is not because I am transsexual, but for other reasons. There are a lot of Christian transsexuals who are transitioning and who are still good Christians. I'm just not one of them. I'm still transitioning, but I've realized that I'm not a Christian. I'd also like to mention that even in my case, I didn't have much of a problem reconciling my need to transition with Christianity. It was other things about myself that I could not reconcile with Christianity. The most that my transition may have had to do with it was that it separated me from certain groups that for a long time were kind of, at lack of better words, preventing the shit from hitting the fan with regards to my incompatibility with Christianity. And no, I am not rebelling against God here. Not in my decision to leave Christianity. As a matter of fact, I'm doing this in obedience to higher power. Just that higher power doesn't call me in the direction of Christianity like it does some other people. That's not rebellion, that's obedience. Also, my transition is not a rebellion against God or any higher power either. It is simply me being true to what the gods created me as. And there's nothing rebellious about that either. And by the way, Megan, you asked what the dumbest thing I've ever heard about the gay, or I understood you to mean LGBT community. That's it. The dumbest thing I've ever heard is that our being LGBT is a result of rebellion from God or influence from the devil. That's the stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever heard about the LGBT community. But anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Talk to you later. Bye!